Coming off our massive overachieving season last year, the calendar has turned to the month of August, and we are ready to get season 2 underway. Welcome back, everyone, to episode number 11 of Bottom to the Top. I'm Mr. Cellophane. How are you? We are starting our second season in Belgium with our journeyman, Nick Bottom. We are with Young Reds. It's the U23 team for Royal Antwerp FC, and last season we gained promotion from the third tier up to the Challenger Pro League. Now, we can't go any higher than that because we can't be in the same league as our main club. Obviously, Royal Antwerp is in the Jupiler Pro League, so we can't advance this team any higher up the ladder, but we can do our best job to make ourselves look good, to position ourselves for our next gig. And already, we talked about this in the last episode, going to have a little bit more money coming in this year. Ticket prices have gone up. We've also confirmed 327 season tickets. That may not sound like a lot, but we maxed out at 195 last year, so we have almost doubled our total, and there's still plenty of time left to go as the season is ready to get underway. Now, one of the challenges we are facing being a U23 side is we can't actually sign any players. We thought we could. We have the ability to, in theory. But any player we try to sign, we brought in a number of goalkeepers, as you can see on trial, trying to bolster that position. However, whenever we tried to sign somebody, we could only promise them they would be a B-team regular, and none of them wanted any of that. So we turned it over to our director of football, or I should say Royal Antwerp FC's director of football, and so far, he has not been able to sign anyone. So we're not going in exactly with the strength of goalkeeper that we would like. Also realized that we couldn't bring in any more central defensemen, so we are temporarily, at least for now, abandoning our back three formation. We have a new tactic for a new year. Now, last year we hit on the 5-3-2 primarily because we really had a dearth of players on the attacking wings. Well, we still have that dearth of players, however, not as many defensive players as we had before, and we had a ton of midfielders. So this year we are going with a 4-3-2-1, so a more traditional two center back setup with wing backs on either side, but they are going to start off a little bit deeper. A defensive midfielder in our captain, Malik Keita. We're going to have two central midfielders ahead of him, one in the Mazzala role to really kind of cover over that side a little bit more. Two attacking midfield players, including one playing a shadow striker role, so kind of moving back and forth between the midfield and the attack. So here is how we're going to start off our season. We're taking on Dender EH at home, and we've got a new goalkeeper, not who would have been my first choice in Niels de Valkenier. He's 6'4". I like a big dude. I thought we were going to have better options in goal. He's 20 years old. He's been training pretty well, but only expecting to be an emergency backup, so we're not exactly sure what we are going to get out of that position. The back four is going to look rather familiar, at least for this first match. We've got Ben Hamed. He's back in on the left side. Van den Bosch and El Mazad, who were a fantastic pairing in the center and right center backs in our back three last year, they're going to be there by themselves. They still work very well together. Lenfers is going to be splitting time with Corbeny. Corbeny is back from loan. He was loaned off against our will last year, but Lenfers has been training a little bit better, so he's going to get the start in this first match. Keita, as we already mentioned, is going to be at the base of the midfield. It's going to be Milan Schmitz and Amal ahead of them. Van Meeren has come down from the main squad. They made him available for this match. So Arthur Vermeeren is going to be our attacking playmaker. And Peter Van Hees, who was a super sub for most of last year, is going to come in that shadow striker role with Gwendal Dehale leading the line. Let's see what we can do as we get ready to start off our first campaign. I mean, the team's only been around for 3 years. This is our second season with them. We are in the Challenger Pro League, the second tier of Belgium. What can we do? Let's find out. And nothing could be better than starting off with a victory in our first match in our brand new league. And Ben Hamed with an opportunity just about a minute and a half in with the corner kick. Elmazad will nod it down back for him. Ben Hamed playing it back for Van Hees. Is going to get taken down by Mounshi, and it's going to be an early penalty shout and a chance for Young Reds to go up 1-0. Not the way I planned, but I will certainly take it. Malik Keita is going to step up. He is the oldest man on the pitch, and Abu Layla makes the save. Not a good way to start. Keita we just added on as a penalty taker. Penalties were a weak spot last year. It's not really a position that we have exactly firmed up yet in the new season. One of the things we can do is, we were talking about a little bit earlier in the video, we can ask our director of football, which in this case is the director of football of FC Royal Antwerp, to make signings for us, or at least attempt to. Maybe we can do some specific scouting for maybe an attacking midfield player, because we could use a little help there, I think, in my opinion. That is a little bit more adept at taking penalties than Malik Keita, because obviously with that first attempt of the year, not something that we're really getting the job done. I mean, missing a penalty 3 minutes in the opening match, that stings. Young Reds in control in the middle third. Played on the right wing side. Len Fairs ahead for Vermeeren. Into the middle. De Halle, and he will blast in the first goal of the season. The first goal in the Challenger Pro League for Young Reds. It is Gwendal De Halle picking up where he left off last season. He was one of our top scorers, although, you know, we were rotating guys in. He didn't get nearly as much playing time as he probably will this year. We're hoping to be a little bit more consistent with our squad selection. I know for most games, we're going to be getting players made available to us from the parent club, and one of our tasks is to help develop those players. Obviously, with only one slot in the playing squad, in the game day match squad, for a player 23 years of age or older, and our captain Malik Keita being 23, it may be a little bit more difficult. 4 players were made available for this match, and Vermeeren is the only one that we stuck in the match day squad, and he picked up an assist for his troubles. 5 shots to 7 in favor of Dender EH. The only clear-cut chance of the match coming for us. 62% possession, which is definitely an improvement over last year with the 5-3-2. Let's see if we can continue it, as we have a kickoff highlight. 45 minutes remaining in this match. Keita playing it to the left. He's got Ben Hamed. Probably not going to venture as far forward as he did last year. De Halle has got Van Hees. Van Hees is in, and Van Hees has scored his first goal of the season. After this match, we'll take a look at our preseason schedule. Now, we did make the tactical change about midway through, so with just a couple of matches left to go. But looking at the preseason schedule and the results we got, seeing Young Reds up 2-0 early on in the second half of their first match, well, that just warms my little heart. Just about 20 minutes left in the opening game. A lot of guys still not with 100% match fitness, as we're trying to find our sea legs in our first match in the Challenger Pro League. So we are going to make sure that we get fresh legs out there as much as we can. So Lucas Lenfers is going to come off. Kobe Corbin is going to make his season debut for us. Vermeeren is going to drop back in the spot currently occupied by Milan Schmitz, and Dieter Van Hees is going to come in to replace him. Malik Keita, we're going to keep an eye on him. Not really having a great game. Now, it's a defensive midfielder. You don't really expect defensive midfielders to have great games. We're going to keep an eye on the fitness of the remaining players out there, as 2 changes will be made. We're going to trust the newbies to make the difference and confirm those substitutions as we move on into the final 20 minutes of the match. I'm going to knock on wood when I say this, but no bookings for the team. 2 goals. We have given up 10 shots. We have ceded more shots than we've taken, but only one of those has found the target. Just over 5 minutes left to go. Vermeeren with the ball, getting it from Malik Keita. He's going to flip it near side for Corbin, pushing it forward. He's got a man on him into the box, onto the left foot. Corbin's going to hit the crossbar. How many times have we seen that in these videos with our Young Reds team with 1860 Munich last year? Even if you do follow us on Twitch, which is twitch.tv/Mr. Cellophane. The O is the number 0, Mr. Cellophane FM, that is. Full time has been achieved. 2-0 is your score. We ended up outshooting Dender EH 13-10, 62% possession, but most importantly, 2 goals on the board. Gwendal De Halle, Peter Van Hees coming through strong. I admit I was a little worried after Malik Keita missed the penalty just 3 minutes in, but ultimately a very solid start in the second tier for Young Reds. As you can see, not the most impressive friendly schedule. We did win our first match against Union SG, their U23 team, 3-1. Then we dropped a 1-0 decision with 4 straight draws coming after. 1-1 against Gulligam, 1-1 against Beerschot's U23, so not even the team that is in the league with us. Beerschot is a member of the Challenger Pro League, by the way. Then when we first started to make the change, although it reads as a 4-4-2 here before we tweak things just a little bit, against Young Ghent, who in the league below us, the league we were in last year, 3-3, so we were starting to score goals. SL16 FC, a 1-1 draw, and then again OHL U23, who is in the third tier. We dropped a 2-0 decision, so we went 1-4-2 in the preseason, so coming off and starting the year with a 2-0 victory against the team that was in this league last year, I'll take that. Hopefully we have some attacking reinforcements on the way soon. We have made an offer for Dario Cutias Carpe. He's a dual national, Belgian and Spaniard. He, of all the players that we have scouted so far, has the best penalty-taking ability, also fantastic finishing. He's got some nice acceleration. Not quite as fast as we would like him to be, but hopefully with that acceleration, he excels in the poacher role. So maybe it's one of those getting the ball, first touch, getting past the guy, and that's really all he needs. We have also made another signing as well. Looking to bolster our defensive core is going to cost us 2,300 euros a week, but we picked up 22-year-old Loris Henry, played for Ghent last year. And he's a big boy, 6'3", 16 jumping reach. Heading ability not quite commensurate with that, but decent positioning, decent tackling for this level. Hopefully he's going to add something as a rotational player. We did have some trouble with injuries with Vanden Bosch. Picked up an injury in the beginning of the preseason, for example. We lost Al Mazad for a couple of games last year. So another rotational option who could also assist us with our all-important set-piece routines. Let's see if our preparations for our first away match of the year are going to bear fruit. We're taking on Patro Izden, who lost in match week 1. They actually lost 5-0 to the team currently at the top of the table. We've also completed our 2 signings. Dario Cutias Carpe is in. He's going to be playing in an advanced forward position. In fact, we're going to make him that poacher that he loves to be, that role he's suited for. And we've moved him up top next to Gwendal De Halle. So we're going a bit asymmetrical now, as De Halle is going to be more of a pressing forward on support. We're hoping that maybe gives an additional target to get the ball into Cutias Carpe, who obviously is also in for his ability to take free kicks and penalties, primarily penalties, because that is something we are obviously lacking after Keita missed his opportunity early on in the last match. Van Meeren is going to remain in the lineup. He's just going to drop down into a more central midfield role next to Schmitz. Keita is going to be at the base of the midfield. Oh, and we also signed Loris Henry. So all 6'3" of him is going to be in. He's going to replace Zeno Vanden Bosch for this match. The reason Vanden Bosch and not El Mazad is because El Mazad had a 7-7 rating in the last match, and he made Team of the Week. So to pull him out in the next match just did not feel right. So De Valkenier is going to be in goal with a back 4 of Ben Hamed, Henry, El Mazad, and Corbiny is going to get the start on the right-hand side. Keita, Schmitz, and Vermeeren in the midfield with Van Hees in a more advanced position, with De Halle and Cutias Carpe leading the line. Yes, we've made changes. Hopefully we did not upset the apple cart of the team that won 2-1 just last week. I do enjoy myself a good tinker. I just hope I have not tinkered the team into oblivion, making a tactical tweak after week 1 and bringing in 2 new faces. Hopefully it's going to work out. course, the first shot on goal of the match does not go our way. Neither does the second. But right now, because of games in hand over other teams, we currently find ourselves at the top of the table with the current 0-0 result after we won, again, 2-0 in the last match week. Not a ton of action in the first 25 minutes, just 3 shots on goal between the two teams. So a bit of a defensive struggle as Rabel will send it up. Knotted down, Dehale with it, has it knocked away from him. Kukuji up the near side, Ogbiji, Bombo to Kukuji. These names, man. Hopefully we control the ball a lot more so I don't have to even attempt this too much. Kukuji along the near sideline. Bombo almost picked off. It is by Keita. Gutierrez Carpe ahead. Dehale moving it past his man into the middle. Dehale is going to beat Vrabel and he's going to score his second goal of the year. So he has goals in back-to-back matches. It's Young Reds 1, Patro Eisden 0. Not a lot of offense in the early going from Patro Eisden in this season. We were picked by the media to finish 16th, by the way, and there are only 16 teams in the Challenger Pro League. So right now we are massively overachieving. It is still incredibly early, but I hope we can continue it as the ball is moved to the right side. Corbin's got it. Inside for Vermeer and ahead for Van Hees. Into the middle. Dehale. There's the brace for Dehale. It's 2-0 just 3 minutes after he scored his first. Young Reds 2. Patro Eisden, nothing, and I don't know what's going to stop us this year because we are just firing on all cylinders. I'm probably setting us up for some massive disappointment later on. We don't really have a very deep squad. We do not have a large squad. We don't have a ton of guys that aren't making the match day 18 or however many it is. I think there are 7 subs that we have. I probably should know that by now. This is our second match after all. But after 45 minutes of play and change, we find ourselves up 2-0. 3-3 your shots on goal. All 3 of our shots hit the target. We are have had the line share possession at 52%. We've won 90% of our tackles. Could do a little bit of a better job in the air. We are built to be an aerial team, at least in the back. That's why we have guys like Henry. That's why we love playing Sofiane Almazad. But we do lose a little, I guess, without Zenon Vanderbosch, who is, I believe, 6'3" on his own, 6'3", 6'4". That was an absolute monster last year on those set pieces on the near post. That all being said, let's get ready to start the second half, shall we? No changes to be made, but Ogbiji is going to throw it in. It's a final third throw in, getting it back from Peter Mott, but he loses it to Dehale. An awful pass sent forward. Bauman's back to get it, though, for Patro Eisden. Kukuji on the right side of those 2 central backs, back for Bauman's. Guting dropping it kind of deep, near side for Dan Soko, playing it ahead for Peters. He's got Keita on him. In the middle, Ferber. Peter Mott will retreat, see a little bit of territory, finding the safety of Kukuji, bring up the right side. Dan Soko in his first goal of the year as he charged in on what is for us the near post, far post for the delivery. Delivers the header past Delvacanir. And Patro Eisden gets one back, scoring their first goal of the year in the second half of the second match. So all Young Reds needs to do is hang on. Of course, we're going to keep an eye on the fitness of our players as we approach the 60-minute mark. Keita and Smits have each picked up yellow cards. Now Gutierrez Carpe has one of his own. So 3 yellows for us, 1 for them. Total of 4 being given out in this match. But right now, 20 minutes left to go, and we are going to take a look at our squad. Henry is still a little bit apprehensive, so I think 70 minutes in his debut is probably enough. We'll bring in Zeno Vandenbosch to come on in. Van Hees is playing very well. Carpe is playing very well. Dehale, obviously, with a pair of goals. We don't want to pull him off. Milan Schmitz, though, will be replaced by Abdurrahman Amal, who played a decent amount for us last year in that central midfield position. Hasn't really set himself apart from anybody else. So kind of just a guy who's there and a body that we need. And we're still in a winning position. 18 minutes left to go. Throw in Dehalay will give it back for Ben Hamed. He will retreat to the center line to Van den Bosch. Ben Hamed looking for a maul in the middle, played forward by Kikuchi. Chasing it down is Van den Bosch, though. So once again, Young Reds is going to look to go on the attack. El Mazad playing it forward. Van Meeren in stride. Say that 3 times fast. Can't find Dehalay, though. And here comes Patro Eisden the other way. Agbidi is in, and Theo Agbidi has tied this matchup at 2. Are you going to raise the flag? No, they are not. So 2-2 is your score. Not really what we wanted to see. I mean, we want to see positive improvements when we make changes in the squad. We do not want to see the other team just immediately come back and score a goal, especially when we had been, I don't want to say the dominating, because we had not. We have not managed a shot on goal so far in the second half. Long throw, though, into the box. Ben Hamed, Kutilis Carpe is going to get taken down at the edge of the box. They've called a penalty. There is no VAR review. Why is Dehalay taking this? Of course, to get the hat trick, which he does. So Dehalay, his 4th goal of the year, 3rd on the day. I brought in Kutilis Carpe to take those penalties, but we were not going to deny Gwendal Dehalay his opportunity at the Hattie, which he has delivered. And with about 6 minutes left, it is Young Reds 3, Patro Eisden 2. And if this holds, if we can manage to not cede anything in the last couple of minutes and whatever time gets added on, then Young Reds starting the season off 2-0 in the second tier of Belgium in just their 3rd year of existence, their 1st year in the league. That's pretty darn good. And in fact, we have done it. Full time has sounded. We did manage the final 4 shots of the match. I still got outshot 8-7, but even though we led 2-0 at halftime and ceded those 2 goals back to Patro Eisden, ultimately at the end, Gwendal Dehalay with the penalty, converted his hat trick, and 3-2 is your final score. Young Reds off to a fantastic start for year 2. Of course, our time at the top of the table could potentially be limited because all the teams behind us still have yet to play, but a very encouraging start for Young Reds. Season 2 is starting to look pretty good. We did also finish our National B license. We're trying to get the National A. We're waiting for a response from the board. Hopefully they say yes, which will be 3 licenses earned back to back to back, which would be very nice. We've upped ourselves to a 1.5 stars of reputation for our coach. So what could be our final year with Young Reds, because remember, promotion out of the Challenger Pro League is not on the table for us because we are a U23 side, could lead us to an even bigger and better job as the journey will continue. But coming up next episode, we've got more action from the Challenger Pro League. We'll see if any more business gets conducted by either ourselves or Royal Antwerp FC before the deadline in early September, and we will be back for more game action in our next episode. Make sure you smash that like button. God, I can't believe I just said that. But please help us get this video out to as many people as possible and continue to grow the channel. Also, be sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications so you know when the next Bottom to the Top episode is going to air. Thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate all of your support so far, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.